both playing in kind of dark blue, but Miyu Kihara at the far end, as we see it there. She's seeded higher, and she's world ranked 17. And QINYUXUAN from China is ranked 55 in the world, and is younger, a couple of years younger. So, according to rankings, the Japanese player at the far end is the favorite, but the Chinese girl is so strong. She's been making her way up the World Table Tennis feeders. Muscat in 2024, Olomouc 2024, quarterfinals, semi-finals in a youth star contender, quarterfinal in the ITTF World Youth Championships last year, and now in the senior events, World Table Tennis Contender, got to semi-finals in Muscat in January. So the Chinese woman is very, very much on the up. Very young, but up and coming, certainly. But China is so strong that she is 55 in the world, and she's the 12th ranked Chinese woman player. So this is not going to be easy for Miyu Kihara, the 20-year-old from Japan. But this is two shake-hand players, both right-handers.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. And you mentioned there the rise up the rankings from QINYUXUAN, 18 years of age now, established herself as a real force at junior level in the youth series, won multiple titles at under 19 level, but now she is establishing herself as certainly one to watch at senior level as well. And this is the way to do it, isn't it, Colin, by playing the likes of Miyu Kihara and these players who, although she's not that far apart in terms of age, Miyu Kihara more experienced and certainly will give her a tough match out there today.
Yeah, whatever happens today, it will be a good result for QINYUXUAN, because what she needs at her age, she's challenging these top senior players. She needs the experience. So whether she plays really well and or wins or struggles, she will take a heck of a lot from this match, and that will get her closer and closer to the likes of Miyu Kihara in future.
She's been really impressive as well this week. She's yet to drop a game. She defeated Fan Shuhan 3-love in the last round. In the opening round, defeated Li Jian, a qualifier in straight games as well, but this will be another challenge.
And this was a huge backhand. Lovely shot. First point on the board for the Japanese player.
Great start though for the teenager, and perhaps we perhaps could have seen it coming, given that she's been playing so well all week. But Miyu Kihara, as we said, just presents a different kind of challenge, but hasn't managed to establish herself yet.
No, one good shot, but she's struggling to start with. Missed a backhand topspin off the long, heavy backspin push, put it onto the top of the net. But again, that is much, much better. It's the same kind of shot again, but she found the lift, she found the power, she found the topspin to bring it back down over the net to the other side of the table.
3-4.
And that's the kind of challenge this is for QINYUXUAN. She's 4-1 up, and then a couple of small points against a world-class player, and after all of that, it's only 4-4. The lead's gone. Not phased.
5-0.
What will be the key here, Colin, for QINYUXUAN, as she is to keep pace here with Miyu Kihara? Because, of course, the Japanese has more experience, and you would expect that experience will show. But what will be the key for the teenager?
Yeah, I think for a player as talented as the young Chinese woman is, she'll be able to do pretty much everything that Miyu Kihara can do. You don't get to 55 in the world without a great armory. The question will be, over a long best of 5, after a lot of pressure from Miyu Kihara, will Qin be able to keep it up over the longer term? What she's not used to is playing at this level for long periods against that high level in competition. She'll have trained for it, but in the end, there's no substitute for the competition.
And of course, even this week, she's not actually been tested yet to drop a game, but Miyu Kihara has had a trickier route through to this quarterfinal. Both of her wins 3-1.
Well, that's a beauty, isn't it, from Miyu Kihara? Counter topspin. Very, very wide of the forehand. Left chin standing. And you're seeing the quality there of Miyu Kihara's backhand, varying it across the backhand to backhand side, from the middle to wide of the backhand, getting good power. Chin not quite able to keep up, and now a couple of points adrift.
But certainly, as you said earlier, not phased when she has fallen behind, and perhaps that's something that is, you know, that's perhaps an attitude that youngsters have.
Yes, it's a great sign. A couple of times when you think she might struggle, think she might crumble, she's come back straight away. So she looks like she's got the mental resilience. She's not intimidated by Miyu Kihara or someone of that level. Yeah, great play. Well done. Back to 9-all. So Kihara will be a bit worried by that, but 2 serves to take the game if she wins them both. Oh, weaker ball from Miyu Kihara. The backhand was soft, it wasn't long, and Qin saw her opportunity. Well, it could go either way, Rebecca.
Yeah, shaping up to be a really interesting end to this opening game, finally poised at 10 points all.
Top of the net, didn't quite lift it. She got her feet slightly underneath the ball. Didn't get inside the line of it quite enough. Couldn't quite lift it. Well, and that's what champions do, I think. Qin made the running. She was very impressive, but in the end, she was reeled back in. And then 9-7 down, 11-9.
Miyu Kihara just edging the open, and as you say, that is what champions do. They just find that extra level, just find a way to get past the line.
Yeah, I think Kihara was just winning. We were seeing a lot of good play, good rallies, great big strokes from Qin, but Kihara was winning the little points in between. So Qin, for all of her great work, never got a big lead beyond the early 4-1 start that she had. So what we're seeing there, kind of mention towards that, is the consistency of these players, the quality of their play with serve, return of serve around the net, and it's the little points that often can carry the top players through.
Qin with plenty of positives as she heads back to the table. Miyu Kihara here without a coach in her corner, so makes things just a little bit more difficult for her.
KIHARA-WTT to serve.
But she just edged that opener. 12 points to 10 gets us back underway. Has the serve to start off the second.
Love one.
Miyu taps herself on the top of the head with her bat.
One off.
Fast serve from QINYUXUAN. Wanted to get straight into the rally in that one. Knew what was expected back. A couple of nice backhands from her. I think over the next couple of years she'll be improving the power on her backhand. So she'll be even more dangerous. It's not bad as it is. Again, is it just the consistency that might let her down? No problems there. A nod from Miyu Kihara. She knows she's being well matched. So she'll have to dig in mightily. Yeah, a good solid position from Miyu Kihara. Chin unable to get her out of position. A couple of nice backhands and a forehand follow-up out of the middle for Chin. Sorry, for Kihara. Brings it back to 3-all.
4-3.
Well, the young Chinese taking a couple of points lead. See that acceleration on the backhand through the spine. Great push-up from the legs. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, and we certainly shouldn't be surprised that Chin is doing as well as she has. She comes into this in good form, reached the semi-final of the Contender event in Muscat just recently, so certainly is getting used to performing and getting a good run at this level of tournament.
Yeah, she's been getting to the quarters and semis of the feeder championships, and then, as you say, now semi-finals of the top women's events. So she is now appearing on the scene a little bit more consistently. Oh, a wonderful fast serve. Curved it out wide of the backhand of Miyu. Got her out of position and then opened up the line. Now she's looking confident there, isn't she?
Yeah, absolutely. This is no mean feat, of course, Miyu Kihara. Appearing here for the third consecutive year, semi-finalist in 23 and 25. And that was a lovely shot, Colin.
Yeah, this is class. So I've been saying, you know, is it the consistency because she'll have the strokes? I think she's got the strokes. I think she probably needs a little bit more power on the backhand. She's certainly got the power on the forehand when the serve is returned a little bit higher there. 5 game points.
Well, 4 game points remaining, but this is really quite impressive from the teenager. First game was a lot closer than this one. She hangs her head back in exasperation, does QINYUXUAN. Miyu Kihara saves 2 game points, but Chin's still in a comfortable position.
10-8.
She's really trying hard with the fast backspin returns of serve. The previous one worked very, very well, but she didn't take the point. Again, she tried it, this time with the forehand. but just pushed the ball into the net. And at 10-8, they're allowed to towel down. Oh, they've done more than towel down. I think QINYUXUAN has called a timeout.
And perhaps unsurprising, if you think that she had 5 game points, she's now had that deficit reduced to just 2 game points. And she's still, as we've mentioned a few times, still just 18 years of age. And this is the time where she needs a coach in her corner just to settle the nerves.
Yeah, and normally players will take a timeout when they have serve coming back, because you've got more control over what is likely to happen in the next rally. So she's 10-8 up and she's serving. She's taken her 1 timeout in the best that you're allowed in the best of 5. And this whole minute will just be about the first point. If that doesn't work, then she'll have to think again. But this minute will be about going for broke and the various combinations of returns of serve that she might receive from Miyu. And then if she doesn't take this next point, just relax, start again. I don't think the coach will be saying, if you don't win this point, they'll just put all of their chips onto this. So she'll be really clear what serve she's going to do. She'll know the different combinations that are likely to come back, and she'll be ready for them. Backhand to backhand. Best rally of the match, and she takes it. 1 game all.
And what a way to restart after that timeout. A very well-worked timeout indeed. QINYUXUAN wins the first point. As you said, that's the key. You said after the timeout, it's all about that first point, and she made it count, Colin.
Yeah, they threw everything onto the roulette wheel there. Look at that backhand-to-backhand control. You see both players moving the ball around, occasionally hitting the top of the net as well on the way through. The margins are tiny, tiny when you're trying to play fast backhands, because you want it as low over the net as possible without the bottom of the ball hitting the top of the net. So we're talking a couple of millimeters, and the players are varying the spin as they do it to try and catch the opponent out, but neither player caught out by that. They were responding to each other really, really nicely. And a high-quality backhand-to-backhand rally there. So, Kihara, something to think about now. Japan are so strong as well. Kihara's 17 in the world, seeded 2 here, and she's ranked 6 in Japan. That's how strong they are.
Yeah, that is quite incredible. Well, that win in that last game for QINYUXUAN really sets us up for an intriguing 3rd game. It will be the Chinese teenager who gets us back and underway. Just so impressive. Colin, you mentioned, you know, the mental resilience, and that was just a great example of it there. Yeah, and various players and coaches will be watching these up-and-coming players to see, you know, whether they're likely to be the future stars, how to deal with them if their player comes up against them in future tournaments. We check for mental resilience. That looks like it's there. Yet to be seen, does she have the consistency at this level over a full best of 5? That's the next thing we're about to find out. Miyu in a little bit of trouble. What a start to this 3rd game for QINYUXUAN. 4 points ahead in this one.
Yeah, 2 points on her own serve and both points against the serve. Now she serves again. So 4-love up and serving in a game up to 11. It's quite a big start. I'm very excited here. This young Chinese prospect.
Kihara just unable to establish herself at all. And, you know, what's going through her head at the moment?
Well, Oh, was that on?
1-6.
Did the backhand go on the table?
Kihara gets her first point on the board. She needed that one.
Yeah, so she'll feel better for that. But I think what she's been doing, she's actually tested QINYUXUAN with a few difficult balls to see if she wants to be tempted by them. But actually she was tempted and made the shots. Left knee on the floor. Often the case when you push wide of the backhand and trying to get your forehand in. Yeah, so Kihara's tried a tactic. It hasn't worked. She's tried to put Qin on the limit, and Qin's lived up to it, absolutely. So she's got to change her tactics, respect the high standard that she's playing against, and make it more difficult now for QINYUXUAN, rather than give her shots that she thinks she might miss.
2-8.
This is a late comeback.
9-3.
Looks not. Miyu won't be very pleased with that one. She's kind of started to come back, played a couple of good points, but she's dropped a couple as well, and that doesn't work in a race to 11 points when you're behind.
Wow, look at that, 7 game points for QINYUXUAN. After edging game 2, she's just, it's the confidence that's really so impressive.
Isn't it?
4-10.
Yeah, Miyu's asked the questions, and Qin in this third game has had the answers.
It's 2 game points saved. Kihara's still alive in this one.
Backhand to backhand again. Again, Miyu Kihara taking it. So she's crawling back very, very late on.
To the net, and it's QINYUXUAN who eventually gets it over the line. Good comeback attempt from Kihara, but that lead of QINYUXUAN just unassailable.
Yeah, we mentioned it, didn't we, at 4 love and serving. And although Miyu played some good stuff after that, it was matched point to point by Qin. So even when Miyu's playing well, it's about 50-50. If Miyu drops, she's going down and out if she's not careful. So Miyu has to play very, very well in this next game. Yeah, could be 50-50 even if she does so. So Miyu's got to be very, very brave here, and she cannot assume that if she plays tempting balls that Qin will miss a few of them, because she didn't in that game. Very scary position for Miyu Kihara to be in now. She's got to play with higher risk, more power, take the time away from Qin, and without missing. Can she pull it off?
Well, it is a must-win, of course, for Miyu Kihara in this one if she is to stay in this tournament. But QINYUXUAN just looking so supremely confident. 1 game away from a place in the semi-finals.
Kihara to serve. Love all. Love.
Yeah, the winner of this plays the winner of Zhong Zheman from China, or Honoka Hashimoto, the famous and favorite defensive player from Japan. So China and Japan all over the draw in this women's singles now. and with a potential for the winner of this match to play a backspin player. Very, very different tactics that will be. Well, yeah, Miyu Kihara trying to contain there the backhand of Chin, just playing consistently to her backhand and taking the irregular balls. But Chin didn't miss, and then she found an opening.
Well, it was a good start for Kihara in this fourth must-win game, but Chin just is able just to match her point for point, not deterred in any way by having to come from behind.
3-2.
Yeah. And now that was a wonderful serve, a kicker serve. And Chin at least 5-6 centimeters off her sweet spot at the top edge of her bat. Good deception from Miyu Kihara. Hanging on here. Doesn't quite look happy, does she?
Not entirely comfortable.
Again, the server doing well. Last time it was Miyu who served Chin off, and then Chin returns the favour. Great serve. That was actually a great shot from Miyu because she just got it was the length of the ball that beat Chin. So Miyu having to take those risks, play with more precision, stretch herself. And Miyu's got to be asking herself whether she can extend herself and stay in the match, but she has no alternative. If she doesn't go for it, then Chin will be all over her.
It's 3 consecutive points now for the Japanese. Much more encouraging for her.
Oh, lucky, lucky, but I have to say that Miyu kind of earned that. You talked about it earlier, Rebecca, about earning the luck. And she played 2 wonderful backhands before that, one of them from the forehand side. She made her own luck there, and now 8-4 in the lead. There, so she's going harder, she's going faster. In theory, it's more risky, but if it goes on, the risk was acceptable. And she's really upped her game. Well done, Miyu Kihara.
4-10.
Earns herself 6 game points now. Can she convert them? We saw a similar scoreline in the last game in favor of QINYUXUAN. Miyu Kihara with a must-win 4th game under her belt, much more composed and confident for the Japanese. Colin, like you said, she tried something different in that one and was rewarded for it.
Yeah, I think she did what she had to do, and she had to respect Chin, not treat her as a 55 in the world, but treat her as a 20 in the world. So what Chin can take from that, even though she was beaten in that game, is the respect that Kihara had to make for her. And not only that, she knows that Kihara had to take a big risk there. And while she pulled it off, had it not quite worked, Chin would have been through to the semi-finals already. And Chin will know that. So she is forcing a top world player to extend themselves and to stretch themselves. And they'll respect each other here for the way that they've both been able to raise their games. Chin in the last game, Kihara in this game. And we'll see what happens in the one to follow.
Fifth and final game. I do love a decider. It's always just so exciting when no player can really just, they've really just got to go for it, go all out in this fifth and final one. I don't want to ask you to predict which way it's going to go.
Is that a question?
I was going to say, I'm not going to ask you, but I am actually going to ask you.
Okay. Well, I could be very wrong, and it's on a knife edge, pretty much 50-50, but I'm going to go with Kihara. I'm just going to, if you like, play it safe for myself and back the experience of the Japanese player. She's been here before. She's overcome such challenges many, many times. Chin yet to prove herself. But this might be the moment that she actually does so and teaches us all a lesson.
Yeah, Kihara, of course, looking to reach her third consecutive semi-final in Taiwan, was in the semis in 2023, 2024, and is a game away from 2025. Unless the prodigal QINYUXUAN can do something different.
Yeah, that backhand's huge off the backspin from Kihara.
2-all.
So does Chin have the endurance at this level of explosivity in a long match? Maybe not.
Well, that is what you were saying before. She hasn't been tested this week. She hadn't dropped a game en route to this quarterfinal. And you said that would be the question, to see whether or not she has what it takes to compete over the best of 5.
Yeah, it's what you can do after half an hour of stress that matters. Oh, she was put under the stress. Let's see what QINYUXUAN did from the forehand corner. That touch is just amazing. Well done, QINYUXUAN. That was fantastic. Off the top of the net. She got lucky. Kihara will be really disappointed. She could have had the last 2 points and been ahead. But no. But even then, the brilliance of Chin, the luck of Chin, and then Kihara just wins a little point, brings it back to 4-all. That's what champions do. Kihara not panicking. These backhands are really anybody's. Both players moving the ball around from the middle to wide backhand, and then just clipping the top of the net and off. The players will change ends. It's the halfway point of the final game.
QINYUXUAN 2 points ahead now. This is the biggest lead, incidentally, that either player has had in this fifth and final game. We have the timeout now.
Really? Yeah, so if you're going to take a timeout at any point, then this would be it. Miyu Kihara not taking a timeout at any time up until now, despite the pressure that we've been under, despite the runs of points that QINYUXUAN has had. But when it gets to the fifth game and you're down and you're well in and you've changed ends halfway through the match when someone's got to 5 points, if you're going to take your timeout any time, this is the time to do it. She's got to, you can see her just walking around quietly, looking down, and this is about depth. This is about digging, 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 deep, deep, deep. And for Chin, she's looking up and at the possibilities for the future. Chinese coach really looking quite bright and quite technical. This young charge. Can she push through to what will be
4-6.
a memorable victory, a breakthrough onto the world scene at senior level?
Kihara gets the first point after the restart, and that might do something to settle the nerves somewhat.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. 4-7 wouldn't have been good. Kihara. She's not happy with that one. At this level, I'm going to put that down as an unforced error, which she doesn't need at this point. 2 points behind, late in the game. She hasn't got serve anymore. Is this Qin's opportunity to stamp on this game? Oh, the backhand went down the line to the forehand, changed the tactics, pulled it off, made it work. 8-5. Holding up well, QINYUXUAN. What can Miyu do about this? Slow balls. Slow balls from Miyu. And when she went for the fast one, she missed it.
Yeah, nervy moments indeed for Miyu Kihara, with QINYUXUAN just a couple of points away now from her place in the semi-final. It's that backhand again, earning 5 match points now. This is huge for QINYUXUAN.
Well, the winner will play Honoka Hashimoto from Japan, who had a very comprehensive victory against Zhong Zheman from China. Unbelievable rally. A little piece of luck there. Another centimetre wider and it would have been all over. But Miyu hits the side of the table, but hits the tabletop, the table edge. Saves the match point. Miyu's still there, little shake of the fist.
3 match points saved. This is we've talked about QINYUXUAN with her mental resilience, and this is Kihara showing much of the same.
Wow, was it 10-5?
It was.
Qin looking confident though. Oh, it popped up. Miyu missed the big one, and Qin screams as she takes the match.
That is a huge moment for QINYUXUAN, the 18-year-old from China, knocking out Miyu Kihara.